Hello, everyone. We are here today to talk about the novelties introduced into the French legal system by the new law called Pacte. Pacte, P-A-C-T-E, stands for Plan d'Action pour la croissance et la transformation des entreprises, and in English translation, the Action Plan for the Growth and Transformation of Companies. But before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Nina Vukovic. I'm an associate at the law firm Constellation Law, an innovative law firm that combines new technologies and legal expertise in order to deliver seamless service to its clients. We intervene at all stages of development of your innovative projects, and we have an original method that allows us to optimally respond to your legal needs. We accompany our clients in all their legal, business, and technology matters. If you wish to contact us, please do not hesitate to do so. You can send us an email at contact@constellation.law or visit our website, constellation-avocat, that's avocats.fr. Now back to our presentation. When we talk about France, we know that it is a country that is very protective of innovation, intellectual property, authors' rights, etc., and is constantly evolving in its efforts to promote new and innovative businesses, such as startups. Recently, we have been able to observe a public dialogue between important stakeholders that aims to ensure a more flexible protection of innovation so as to respond to the needs of economic actors easily and effectively. All of these initiatives, of course, are a part of a larger plan for supporting innovative companies and stimulating their growth. In this sense, France has recently passed a new law called Pacte in order to adapt its legal environment in response to the needs voiced by economic actors and in order to allow an unhindered development of the innovation sector as a whole. These changes are numerous and they pertain to many areas of law. We will not be able to cover them all. Today, we will focus mainly on innovation, which pertains to intellectual property law. Namely, we will focus on new measures relating to patents, trademarks, digital assets, and the protection of innovation in French courts. Let's start with patents. In the past, we have noticed that startups in France have not been applying for patents as much as their bigger counterparts in France, or as much as foreign startups. In this sense, the Pacte law has introduced some novelties in order to simplify patent procedures. First of all, a utility certificate can now last you up to 10 years instead of 6, and under certain conditions may even be transformed into a full patent. There is also a possibility to make an application for what we call a provisional patent, which is lighter and cheaper than the full patent application, and it allows thus an easier access to protection of intellectual property, especially when it comes to startups. A provisional patent may then on be further converted into a utility certificate or a full patent, which is a much more efficient and pragmatic way to adjust the startup needs as they keep growing and developing. Finally, the legal provisions regarding patents have also been modified in order to become more restrictive and protective of patents that already exist. This means that when new patent applications come, they might be rejected unless they respond to a list of criteria that has been further restricted by the new law. When we talk about trademarks, the Pacte law has brought with it a very exciting new development. There now exists a possibility to trademark audio files or multimedia files and even movements, such as, for example, dance moves. This is a concrete improvement for all innovative companies seeking better legal protection for their multimedia contents. This is also a further example of the French lawmakers' willingness to implement a strong legal framework that will be more supportive of the digital economy's expansion. Now let's talk about infringement. In an attempt to make the protection of intellectual property more relevant to new business models and a very fast-paced innovation ecosystem, the Pacte law brought with it a number of modifications to intellectual property enforcement procedures, including, for example, a right to oppose a trademark registration request on certain new grounds. Previously, the right to oppose the request in front of the French trademark registry was limited to only a few person categories. It could be existing trademark owners and/or licensees. Under certain conditions today, other right holders can also oppose new trademark registrations. They include physical persons or companies using commercial names, registered corporate names, store signs, and or domain names, if and when there is a likelihood of confusion between a requested trademark and their own prior distinctive sign. There exists also at this moment a lighter and faster trademark cancellation procedure that does not require formal court proceedings, but can now be brought directly in front of the French Trademark Registry. These procedural changes are a further step towards, one, making legal enforcement measures more accessible to smaller companies, and two, reducing the average lead time for handling legal disputes. The second point is making the legal environment much more clearer and more secure. For example, by allowing faster legal decisions, a company will now know very early on if there is a legal obligation for it to use a different name or trademark and replace its own infringing name or trademark, which will then allow a realignment of its marketing, advertising expenses, etc. Let's move on now to the definition of digital asset. So a new definition of the concept of digital asset has been adopted and inserted in the French Monetary and Financial Code, the CMF. This has contributed to a much stronger legal certainty and protection over initial coin offering operations by clarifying, one, the scope, and two, the legal regime applicable to so-called utility tokens. By doing this, France is definitely showing its willingness to support the token-based economy through blockchain technology. Even though further improvements and clarifications are required and needed, France is now part of the few countries that have implemented specific provisions to account for blockchain-based business models and fintech innovation. In this way, France is showing its openness to offer a suitable legal environment and support innovation and new business initiatives. As part of the legal regime applicable to digital assets, the Pacte law has implemented provisions to clarify the role and legal obligations of coin issuers and digital asset service providers. Coin issuers are primarily at this stage companies raising funds through ICOs. Digital asset service providers are companies that store, secure, and allow further transactions over digital assets. We expect these new provisions to be instrumental in strengthening the trust and confidence in the token economy by providing investors with additional warranties and a better legal protection of their digital assets. More generally speaking, the French regulators also play an active role in supporting innovation. As an example, the French market regulator, the AMF, has created a dedicated team to support fintech projects and allow a constructive dialogue with project owners. In conclusion, we have been able to see, and France has shown in recent years, that it is willing to promote innovative companies through legal evolutions, and also the creation of organizations such as the French Tech or Business France, thus confirming without a doubt its intentions of support for the innovation sector and innovative companies such as startups. We would also humbly suggest certain measures that could be taken to ensure even more protection for innovation. For example, the legal framework surrounding tokens could be modified to ensure that a claim by the token owner can be regarding not only the token issuer, but also, for example, an underlying good that can be a piece of art, diamonds, or anything else. That will be all. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions for us, please do not hesitate to contact us at contact@constellation.law or visit our website. Thank you very much.